I know that it's been a while and you haven't seen any videos from me lately unless you count the couple of shorts that I put out a few weeks ago, which if you haven't watched those, you need to really go back and watch them. I think they're a pretty good format. I think you get a lot of really good concentrated stuff in a very condensed package out of those. And I think there's some really good thoughts that could help your game, but I haven't been around in a while and I know that some of you have been asking. So I'm here to make a video today. I'm just out here warming up and I want to share two things with you to let you know why I haven't been around lately. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Golf Test Dummy, the channel where I use my game to help your game. And there's two reasons, like I said before, there may be a couple more in there, but we're just going to talk about the two main reasons that I've kind of been absent or on hiatus from making some YouTube golf videos for all of you guys to ignore and not click thumbs up or subscribe to. The first of which is some really good news. As you know, if you followed this channel for any amount of time, my wife has been battling cancer. She's been going through chemo. I'm here to say that the chemo is now complete and that it went very well. And from the scans that we've gotten so far, it looks like there is no evidence of disease to be found, which is absolutely just fantastic. We are thrilled to death about that. There are a few other little peripheral little things that we need to take care of for the foreseeable future, but the big hurdle has been jumped. So that is super positive news. And in the wake of that, it just seemed kind of fitting to just take some time. We've been taking a little bit of time for ourselves. We've visited a couple of people. We've gone camping, which we love to do. We've been trying to go out camping at least once a month. We'd like it to be more frequent than that, but with it being so insanely hot this time of year, we haven't been camping nearly as much. That is going to change. We're going for a week-long camping trip on our birthday. Sorry, I'm rambling. Anyway, we've just taken some time, but there's another reason. There's another reason, and I think it may even be something that is making me question whether I even want to do YouTube videos anymore. I saw a video a while back. I think the channel was The Golfer's Authority, which reminds me of the Sports Authority, that they may not even have those anymore. Anyway, I think that was the name of the channel, and he did a video. It was a pretty long video, maybe 45 or 50 minutes long, with Sam Golden, G-O-U-L-D-E-E-N. D-E-N. Yes, Sam Golden, who some of you may know, came up with the swing method or the model or the system or whatever you want to refer to it as square to square. I have followed Sam for a while. I've tried a lot of his stuff. I feel like there's some of his teachings in what I do. I think he's inspired me some. I don't know him. I've never really spoken with him. And I think that what he talks about and his approach and what he teaches, I think it is, well, let's just use the word golden. In this video, he said that it was probably going to be the last YouTube lesson or last YouTube video that he was going to make on the golf swing. And the reason for that is because of some really simple things. And I believe that I've kind of had a little bit of the same epiphany that he's had. He may have had it before I did, but I think I've stumbled upon my own little epiphany in the last this is the 8th month, so 7+ months since I started finding my own swing in January. The path that I've kind of stumbled down is that it's really nowhere near as complicated as YouTube coaches and golf coaches would have you believe. Let's switch from a 54 here. We'll go up to the approach wedge. I've also got some videos coming up for you guys. I'm going to get out on course some if this rain will ever stop. We've got a tropical storm coming up from Florida right now. It's going to rain all week. I took a couple of days off this week to be able to film on course. Looks like that's just going to get 86 right there. But anyway, I've got a few things over here that I want to share with you. And there's something over there that I want to share with you. So keep your eyes peeled. It's coming. But anyway, I'll switch over to approach wedge here and just hit a few shots. And I'm not putting a lot of structure into this video. I just wanted it to be a little bit more organic. And the thing with Sam Golden's last video is he said, once you know a few things, once you understand a few things, a few fairly basic things, it's really just from there about trying to get better at making those little things happen, and how you look or what your swing looks like, and a lot of these checkpoints that you have to hit, you find out that they're really not nearly as important as you think. And the few things are pretty basic. I've talked about some actually in some videos that I made, oh, that's crisp, a while back, where I talked about there only being 4 real, true, factual fundamentals to being able to strike golf balls well and skilled. The first of which is controlling your low point. The second is controlling your path. The third of which is controlling the face of your golf club. And the fourth of which is being able to apply a little bit of speed to it. Now, you could also say that if you want to optimize those things, that yes, maybe there are some positions you need to hit. And certainly making a good impact position involves how you get there, and of course what it's going to look like after the fact because of how it came in, how it arrived at impact, and then how it is afterwards. So there are going to be some things that are pretty universal, but what's really universal is, number one, the golf clubs that we use. They're pretty universal. They don't change. We can change. Our bodies can change. We can be completely different heights, weights, ages. It doesn't matter. But the golf clubs are the same basic tool, and what really matters is that impact window, that 1 foot before the ball and maybe the 1 foot after the ball that you could look at in any good ball striker's sequence. If you just zoom the camera in on that impact zone and watch that club move through impact, then really that's where all of the best players are really good, and it's where a lot of the not so great players really kind of lose the plot a little bit. But all these things about having your grip be just so, and your posture and your stance and everything be just so, and that you have to take it back on this line and not that line, and that you have to finish this way and not that way, that's all just noise. It's all just noise around you, and it's confusing it. And a lot of YouTube instruction, golf magazines, golf programs, all of this stuff, the reason that I don't get into reviewing that stuff anymore is because it's all just noise. It is sincerely not that important to what you need to do. Now, certainly once you get up to a high level, let's say you're a high level amateur, we're talking, US amateur, US mid-am levels, D1 college golfers, and certainly professional golfers, male, female, Champions Tour, overseas, American, it doesn't matter. When you get up to that level, there are things that you have to do. You have to do in order to keep up in the arms race. It is literally an arms race of distance and accuracy out there. You have to have your game at such a level just to be competitive and have a chance week in and week out of making a cut, that it is imperative that you optimize everything. But for us, for the people just trying to enjoy golf and break 80, you don't have to be optimal with your swing. You don't even have to have a full swing. You don't have to hit driver 300 yards. You don't have to be able to dial in laser-like irons from 200 yards out that find the center of the green every time. You can come out and play some really good golf just by making little half swings even if you only hit a 7-iron like 100 yards and you hit a driver like 180. Just play from the correct tees. If your swing is repeatable and it's simple and you never get it mixed up, and did I say repeatable? Then it doesn't matter what it looks like. And it doesn't matter if you're following all these rules and getting into these positions that everybody's talking about. It's one of the main things that I've learned from doing all of these different swing model and swing method reviews, the single plane swing, the right-sided swing, the Jim Veneto swing, all of these different swings. They're all created because the conventional golf method is just way too complicated. And it's one of the reasons I wanted to expose you guys to some of these lesser known coaches and these lesser known models and methods out there, is because it can be so much simpler than what everybody makes it out to be. And I don't really care how I look when I swing or what anybody thinks of it. At the end of the day, it's about the number on the scorecard. And a lot of the number on that scorecard, believe it or not, is going to be influenced not so much by what you do with these and the driver and off the tee and out of the fairway. It's going to be influenced mostly by what you do around the greens and on the greens. 100 yards and in, that is really where good scores live. It's where good scores are made. It's where bad scores are also made in that same area. If you can get more skilled from 100 yards and in, you're going to play better golf. You're going to have better scores. And here's the thing. You might not even feel like you struck the ball that well. You might not even feel like you played that well today. You'd be like, God, I really didn't hit the ball that solid. I didn't feel like I was getting off the tee with any kind of distance. I didn't hit a lot of greens. But the fact that you rolled a lot of putts in and that you had a really good short game that got you up and down more often than not, you put up a good number. You ever have those days? I'm sure you have. I've had plenty of them. Then there are other days where you feel like you played lights out. Man, I got off the tee. I was bombing it. I hit every fairway. I was just this. I was that. I was striking the ball so well. And then you have a score that's not so great. And you're like, what is going on? I don't understand. I hit the ball so great today, but my score is not good. Do you know why? It's because you're putting in your short game. Did you get up and down? Did you make the putts? Did you roll at close proximity to the hole? Did you show skill around the greens from 100 yards and in? Or did you not? That is what is going to make or break your round. And I've been trying to say that. So, what ultimately am I driving at here? What I'm getting at with all this is simply this. I've been struggling to find inspiration for new videos recently. I don't want to just put out videos that have no meaning, that are just repeats of what I've done in the past and just rehash old stuff. I don't want to put out a bunch of videos that somebody else or a group of somebody else's has already made 100 or 1,000 times over. There's no point to that. Just go watch those videos. Go watch those videos if you want to know about a proper grip or setup or how to hit the shot out of the rough. There's tons of those. I don't need to make those videos for you when 100 or 1,000 other people have already done that. So I'm really having trouble trying to find something new. And really the only thing new that I can share with you guys is to tell you that we're making it way too complicated. Stop trying to chase this perfect swing. It doesn't matter. You don't need to be optimal. You need to be repeatable. You don't have to be the longest. You just need to be more accurate. You don't have to hit every green, but you need to be able to get yourself out of trouble and save par more often than not when you don't hit the green. And when you have a putt for birdie, whether it be from 5 feet or it be from 20 feet, you need to be able to give it the best chance at going in that you possibly can to capitalize when you're in position for birdie or even to save par, depending on what skill level and what score you're chasing. But it's so simple. There's not a lot to it. If you set up to a golf ball and you're thinking about what to do at the top and what I need to do with my hips and where does this need to go and make sure I shift my weight and keep my head centered around this, pivot around that leg, you are going to be unsuccessful. You're going to be unsuccessful. You're not going to do what you want to do, at least not all the time, not in a high frequency of repetition. It's not going to happen. So what do you need to do? All you need to do is learn to control the face of this golf club, control the point at which your swing arc bottoms out, be able to move that point in front of the ball, behind the ball, at the ball, control that low point, get just a little bit of speed, and have something repeatable. Have a structure that is fairly repeatable. For me, recently, the only thing I think about, and it does change from time to time, and there's nothing wrong with that, you evolve. As you evolve, your swing thought can evolve, but it needs to be swing thought, not swing thoughts. And all I think about is I set up to where I know my hands are going to be leading. Anything on the ground, this grip has to outrace this club head to the golf ball. I set up in a position to where I know that when I get to impact, my hands are going to be leading. And all I think about is, if you remember the Sean Clement stuff that I went through a few years ago, or you've watched Sean Clement at all, he talks about seeing the blur of the club. And you can sit there and watch this club blur right before your very eyes. And you just need to get good at making that blur go through the golf ball. Through the golf ball. Now, you may need it to go a little bit in to out. You may need to go a little out to in. You may need it to go straight, depending on what type of shot you're hitting. But if you can get your low point to be in a pretty consistent position, and I would recommend that anything that sits on the turf, have your low point in front of the golf ball, and you can get that blur to go in the direction you want it to go, with your hands leading, of course, as I just said, then all you need to do is practice doing that. You don't need to make it any more complicated than that. It's not like you're missing some secret ingredient. What you're missing is programming it into your brain and your body. You haven't worked on it enough yet, or you've gotten distracted and you've started working on other things other than that. Just continue to come in here and make the blur go in the right direction that you want. If you want the club face square, here's my suggestion. Stop doing this in your golf swing. Just take it straight back and straight through. Take your hands and dial them way down. Now, I know Tiger Woods says it's all in his hands. Now, Tiger Woods, if you're comparing yourself to him, I got to say there's a flaw in your logic. But if you're taking the club away and you're just counting on your hands to time it up, and you're flipping them all over the place, you're going to have inconsistency. Instead, take the club away, keep it square, bring the club through, keep it square. And it really doesn't matter if you're making your swing to a full swing all the way up here. You don't have to do that. Just take it to where it can stay square and then stop. Don't get it into a position to where it's going to come out of square, because then you have to get it back into square, and good luck with that. Just take it back as far as you feel you can take it back with the club still being on plane or square, and then bring it back through. That's it. And it's really hard to get the club face to open and shut relative to your turn when you do that. It's really not any more complicated than this. And this is why I find it so hard to make good golf content right now, is because there's really not much more to it than that. You just need to get out and work on performing those simple actions better. Don't make it any more complicated than that. That's all there is to it. And I have trouble right now trying to come up with drills or telling you, hey, here's something else I found, because it's not genuine. It's not going to help you at all. What you need right now is mundane. Get into the right-hand lane on the interstate, putt along at 55, and you'll eventually get to your destination. Stop trying to weave in and out of traffic and get over into the what do they call it? The diamond lane or the HOV lane with a mannequin, so that you can go 85 miles an hour and then shoot over in front of some truck and cause a major accident. Just get in the right-hand lane and stay there until you see your exit, and then get off and go about your way. That's all there is to it. You don't have to be so complicated. Get that club in a position to where you're going to have the hands leading. Get that low point to be after the golf ball. Get that blur of the club going in the direction that you want it to go. And then just practice doing that better than you did it yesterday. And that's it. The club face can't get off if you don't ever give it a chance to get off plane. Guys, that's the video for today. I'll come up with some more stuff. I'm going to show you some on-course stuff. I've got a couple of surprises over here, like I said, and I've got one over there. I will be making videos on those. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to leave a thumbs up on the video. Leave me some comments. I hope that my content stays relevant to you, and I hope that it helps you, and I hope it really sort of makes the clouds go away rather than bring in more confusion. If it does, that's fantastic. If I can help you clear the skies a little bit, that's fantastic. If it doesn't, you don't have to watch these videos, and you can click off. But I'll see you guys next time. Appreciate it.